Alrighty, campers. The new data extractor tool works with worldfootball.net. So essentially, when you go to worldfootball.net, if you find a team file, let's say we go to, we'll do some North America stuff. Let's go to the Costa Rican Primera División and go to a team. When you go to the teams page, you will see, I'm sorry, you need to also go to the squad page. So you have to go to the squad page as well. You will see that this table pops up. Essentially what it's done, you can minimize it here. What it's done is it's looked through these data here and it's created a roster in the format of Roster Maker 24. So you can see that it's correctly pulling the nationalities. As far as I'm aware, there's no issues with that. So Yosel Piedra is Cuban. And if we go down and look, that's true. So that's the first thing that it does is from the squad page, it will pull all of the records with some very basic data. All of these are editable, so you can go through and call that player a 65. You can call them a 96. You can say that this player's we'll change that font color so people can see a little bit better. But anyway, you get the idea. This is essentially Roster Maker 24 template right here. All right, here's where the real meat of this thing goes. If you go to fetch player data, it'll open up a kind of mini window here. You have to leave this alone, don't touch anything, and let it run for a while. It does take a bit. But what it's doing now is it's going through each of those players, and it's going to go to their individual page, pull additional data in, and try to process it as best it can. It's not going to be perfect, and all of this has just been developed, so we don't know how effective it is. But this part of this process does take a little while. So it'll run through all these players. Last I checked, it is doing a good job of avoiding, the managers, assistant managers, coaches, etc. But it's going to work on all of those. Looks like Cesar Yanis is the last one that we need to get. So let's let this run for a second. This is all very normal. It's just going to process these files. I will explain to you how to download the tool and everything else, but I just want to start with showing you how it works and the fact that it taking this amount of time is normal. This is all completely consistent with how it's supposed to run. There's not really a way to speed it up, unfortunately. Roberto Cordero Cordoba is down here. We're in the midfield. It will assume it starts off by basically taking this header here and assigning either goalkeeper, center back, center midfielder, or striker to each of these players as a first pass. And then when it gets into the more detailed data, it's going to try to assign a more specific position to them if it can. There's a chance, by the way, that certain positions aren't captured in the scripts. So if you've come across, like, I don't know if the Franz Beckenbauer page might say something about him being a libero. That's text that I don't have in there yet. So it's possible that that's not getting processed correctly. So just watch out for those new cases, and we can add them. That stuff is not difficult. It's more important that we get the core functionality down first. Jonathan McDonald. Yeah, we're getting into the later strikers. We might also find some name inconsistencies with some of the nationalities. If we do, there's a simple little function that I can add that will reconcile some of those. So just let me know if you start seeing that it's pulling data in correctly. We can always code for those corner cases. No big deal. All right, we should be almost done here. Brian Murica. Yeah, so we're on the last one. So by run. All right, so watch what it does now. It will close out of this and close this little back window thing in just a moment as soon as it's done processing Caesar, and it pulls the data back up. Notice that it's added much more specific information in here now. Um, I'm noticing one thing I want to change, but like for a lot of these players, it's pulled in the height data. It's pulled in a position 2 for a lot of the players. Um, and we can add some additional logic here. And in some cases, it may also change the nationality based on more specific information. I do know that if it doesn't find a nationality here, it will try to pull it from the country or from their place of birth. If it can get any of that data, it'll try. Okay, so anyway, you get all this. Then you can go to download unicode.txt, and you'll get a file called playerdata.txt. From there, you can go to roster maker 24. As per normal, you may choose the file. It's in downloads, player data, and notice it processes 28 players. So that all worked. Let me show you how to actually get the tool. So this is made as a Google Chrome extension. So you must run this in Google Chrome. There are no alternatives. Somebody else, if they want to, can design this for another browser, but I will only work in Google Chrome. What error would you have here? Interesting. Doesn't seem to have affected anything, but it'd be interesting to see why that happened. Anyway, all right. So you get the tool by going to github.com/siphon/data extractor. Just like before, you want to go to the green code button once you're here. Go to the green code button and download zip. This will put it in your downloads folder. For me personally, I would usually put this in another folder. So I'll go documents, I'll go everything else. Let's go soccer, FIFA, and I like to go new folder, data extractor. Okay, so we can take it from the downloads folder here, get back to, whoops, everything else, soccer, FIFA, data extractor. Put it in here. I'm just putting this in the file in the folder that I just set up. Extract all. We can extract it right here. As mentioned previously, I kind of like to put my zips back inside just so I have it all in one place. Okay, so unlike before, you will find that there's not an HTML file here to click on to run this. This is different than the other tools that you may have seen me make in the past. This is a Chrome extension. Let me show you how to get a Chrome extension going. You will go back to Google Chrome. You will find this little puzzle piece right here. So click this little puzzle piece and then go to Manage Extensions. If you do not have developer mode activated, then you'll see it looks like this. But you need to activate developer mode because it gives you these options up here. Load unpacked pack extension update. So make sure that developer mode is selected. I'm going to go ahead and remove player data extractor for now. Let's go to load unpacked. Make sure you hit load unpacked. One more time, load unpacked. Alrighty, so next I'm going to navigate back to where I just was. So everything else, soccer, and then data extractor. Okay, and then you need to select the main folder that everything is in. In this case, it's got a couple dependencies, so I believe we need. Let me expand this. Data extractor main. I think you need this one. So you should see data extractor main, and then another data extractor main. It just has to do with the way that the dependencies lie, but I think this is the way it's expecting it. Let's test it. Go to select folder. It loaded in no problem. If you select the wrong one, let's just show you what this looks like. Man, I'm going to run out of time. Load unpacked. If we selected one back, we're going to get an error because it can't find the dependencies. It can't find the files that it's looking for. So you go back to load unpacked. Make sure there's 2 of these data extractor mains. and then it'll load in no problem. Now you got a Google Chrome extension. It'll run automatically. You can turn it off if you don't want it messing with you anymore. You can turn it back on like that. All right, so now that we have it, remember that you want to go to any team page. So it's not going to do anything anywhere else on the internet. It's not going to run if it's anywhere else on the internet in any way. But you can go to any team page, go to their squad page, and then it'll pull up the data. Remember to hit fetch data, fetch player data. It'll do this. When you're done, you can load it directly into Roster Maker 24. Last thing I want to show you is if you want to pull these data into the extension, into the template, Roster Maker template. Then here we go. All right, beautiful. You can go to data, get from so the data tab here from text or CSV. You go back to the downloads folder, open your player data. It'll pull open this window here. You don't really need to mess with this if you decide that you want to. I would change to based on entire data set just in case you have more than 200 rows, and load. It'll give you a new table, a new sheet down here. You can literally copy all of this, go back to the main page, and home, paste values, and then we're golden. So now you can edit this directly as you would with any other Roster Maker template. Bob's your uncle. That's the tool. And keeping in mind that when you do edit that main page, it will keep what changes you make, or at least it should. Okay, let me know if you need anything. Thanks. Bye. Oh, there's a Discord for this tool as well, so check it out.